vehicle that he's forgotten we've been here for a while. Now, unfortunately, as most of you know, I can't stay in these sightings for very long because there are lots and lots of safari vehicles that rotate all the time to show guests from all over the world. Obviously, to come on safari, you're very lucky. You get to see it from the comfort of your own home. But of course, this means that we do need to rotate through the sighting to allow everyone to get a chance. So we'll stay for probably about 5 minutes, and then unfortunately we're going to have to go. Already 2 vehicles have cycled through. Now, I'm so excited that I finally got to see Sibuye because I've heard so many amazing things about her, and I always get sent and I see the pictures of her and her 2 cubs, and you know, they've been absolutely awesome, those 2 little cubs, from what I've seen. And obviously I said to you this morning how sad it was that this unknown male that presumably has come from the southern section, or the most southern corner here of Chitwa, and it's probably Mala Mala, maybe even Londolozi, we're not really sure just yet. And he came through and he unfortunately killed one of her cubs. Now the other cub is not here, so I don't know if she's gone back yet. I haven't got a clue. I think where the cub was killed it's on an area called Hoffman's. Now we don't have Traverse here, and it's a fair distance away from where she is at the moment. So she probably would have stashed those little ones away at the big termite mound. It was a beautiful big bourbon tree, so the Scotia, which one is it? The Weeping Woodbean. And anyways, it was a really good safe spot, I thought. They had the termite mound, they had the big Scotia tree, then just down below them, or just to the north of them, sorry, was a little drainage line lined with lots of tambuti trees, so there were plenty of places for them to hide away if danger came about. So no one really knows what happened, but it was definitely evident that shame that one of those little ones got taken, but it is nature. I mean, if it wasn't his genetics, he isn't going to stand for having all that competition around. So of course we're obviously very sorry for that, but it is nature, and these guys aren't particularly successful when it comes to raising youngsters. Because I don't know this leopard very well, I don't know if she's ever successfully raised cubs. I mean, she's not particularly old. She was born in 2015. No, 2013, sorry. So she's 5 years old, somewhere around there. And she's got a nick in her left ear. There you go, you see, so in her left ear, that could help with identification as well. I'm just thinking if I ever get to see her again, how I'm going to identify her nicely. Okay, Judy, so you were wondering how old she was. So, like I said, that's just from what I read. I also don't know who her parents are. Well, I know who they are, the Shidulu or Kikalezi female, who I'm not familiar with, and then the airstrip male, who I've heard of, but I've also never seen him before. I think he hangs around, isn't it around Mala Mala, the sort of Singita, Londolozi, those sort of areas, I think. Again, I haven't ever had the privilege of seeing them. And then her litter mate is a leopardess called Piccadilly, which I've seen that name pop up recently in a lot of posts, again, I think around Mala Mala. So it seems like she's just pushed a little bit north. Mala Mala is not particularly far from here. It's just down, literally just south, probably by maybe a kilometer or so, so just less than a mile. So, you know, that's really not far and we're quite normal for her to push out and come this way. There's just an aeroplane that's about to land. You might be able to hear it. She's not really paying too much attention. I think she sees and hears that aeroplane all the time. Konya, you've said Sibuye is gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's a lovely girl. I would like it if she'd look towards us again. I just don't want to go around the corner because otherwise we're going to be parked in the sun. And when she looks at us, she kind of looks this way. So we'll sort of see. She was standing up a minute ago. I also don't know if we're going to be able to get down to the lions because they're off of the Traverse, so we can't actually drive down there. But essentially, they were somewhere over there. Is that one? There we go. There's one, and that is the Styx Pride. So I know you can just sort of sitting in the shade in a distance. I mean, not ideal, but we won't be able to go in there, unfortunately. So that's exceptionally close, as you can see. Very, very, very close. Let me reposition for you, VM, because she's just gone flat. Now, I don't know if the lions know she's here. I suspect that they don't have any idea. Cool, and we're gonna have one last view, and then we're gonna have to move on. There we go. say my name, boy. Now, yes, I suppose she is in Tingana's territory, but Tingana actually hasn't been visiting Chitwa for quite some time. Perhaps you remember when he was really sick and he kind of used this area as like his hospital recovery I suppose, reserve. He was here for a couple of months, but now he's gone back to his old area, which is predominantly on Djuma. He also pops into Buffels Hook and Torchwood, and then, of course, he comes onto Chitwa, Hoffman's, not Hoffman's, but Little Gowrie, and then sometimes on Arathusa too. But he's been preoccupied in Torchwood and Buffels Hook with the female that he was mating with unknowingly. So I think she I don't know which male she did mate with. I'm not father is of her cub, sporting cub, but I suspect that, yeah, I think she's come out of that area where he maybe traverses, so perhaps that's what is vulnerable. But leopards move around all the time, so if another male just came wandering through, which is not impossible because we've been seeing a lot of different males, well, I haven't, but there have been around, there's obviously a great chance that he'd come across them and just, well, unfortunately, yes, like I said, take them out. Right, well, it's a day of leopards today. Hopefully Scott will be able to bring in the cheetah. Let's go back to Steve with Tingana.